Welcome back to CF Clips. This is a 16.5-inch barreled M&M, not M&M like the rapper, no, M&M Zhukov Battleworn Edition rifle. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about that. We have Matt here with us.
What's up, everybody?
And so without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. I'll let you take the reins, starting with the tip right up here.
Yeah, so this is the M10X rifle. And if we start here at the muzzle, so this has their proprietary Chaos brake. So
Chaos?
Chaos.
Well, that's
right?
unique.
Yeah. Now, this is threaded for 5/8 by 24, so it takes any standard kind of AR-10 style muzzle brake. And you can see it attaches just threaded on with a crush washer. So you have lots and lots of options there when it comes to what kind of muzzle brakes you can use if you decide to swap it out. It makes a good suppressor host. You know, you could always swap out that for a quick detach muzzle brake. We'll get into some of that maybe a little bit later. Coming back a little bit down the barrel, so we have our adjustable gas block. So this has a 2-position adjustable gas block, which is one of those reasons why you can use this as a pretty good suppressor host, because you can cut that gas down and have it operate reliably with your suppressor without getting super gassy or kicking the crap out of the gun.
Now, one thing I noticed right off this, that they have the Battleworn design here. And again, we haven't like put this through a washer or thrown it at rocks or anything. This is how it comes from the factory. They wanted it to look Battleworn. That's the whole idea. And it kind of fits because, well, in AK, you expect to be very durable and reliable. Right. And, of course, being chambered in 7.62 by 39, because I haven't mentioned that yet, it just fits. The whole aesthetic actually works.
Yeah, so I think there's one thing that's really cool about, obviously it's kind of an aesthetic choice, but also I think it might help get some gun owners over the new gun phobia of scratching their gun, right?
Yeah.
So firearms like this are definitely something that you want to take out, train with, use in the field, and really make sure that you are able to master it. And if it comes from the factory a little bit beat up, then you don't have to worry about, oh my God, I'm not going to scratch my gun. No, throw it in the dirt, throw it in the back of your truck, get use out of it, and you don't have to worry about it because it already looks that way.
And this whole thing's made out of metal with the exception of your grip here and your stock, which we'll get to in a few minutes. But, I mean, it just feels solid overall. There's no creaks, there's no bends. It's a very solid gun.
Yep, so this is a monolithic kind of upper receiver, including the handguard. So one of the things that's really great about that is because it's all one piece, things that you mount out here are very solid because it's all one solid piece of aluminum. Now, you have this very beefy hinge. So again, kind of you were talking about how there's no creaks or anything. When you think of parts of machines that hinge, and sometimes there's wobble, think about like with your AR-15s, they can get a wobble between the upper and lower receiver. This has a very super beefy hinge mechanism here so that you don't have that. It fits very tightly, and you wouldn't expect it to loosen up a ton.
Yeah.
Coming back to the kind of controls area, one of the things I think is super cool about this, I love the AK platform because as a left-handed person, I think it's very friendly where the controls are. And this is very friendly because all of the controls are ambidextrous. So right now, the charging handle is on the left side, but you can swap that over to the right side. As you can see, there is an ambidextrous safety lever on both sides, very AR reminiscent. And using that AK-style magazine release that's underneath the gun means that either left or right-handed people can reach that just fine. So I think that's a phenomenal feature of the M10X. And
you said it was a very simple in operation and in parts total, according from the manufacturer.
That's correct? Right. So this actually has less total parts than an AR or an AK. One of the goals they had was that it should be super simple in design and very serviceable in the field. So if you have a problem, you can get into it and not worry about losing this tiny little pin that's going to make your firearm worthless.
The little spring that shoots out of an AR when you take it apart improperly.
Yeah, that's right. So when you look at this, I think it screams at you AK, but then you start seeing some of these things like the fact that there's a split receiver that has this kind of AR style safety, and you're like, okay, well, what's it really? And to be honest, I don't know that it's easy to classify it as any one thing other than M&M try to take and design a rifle using
the wrapper.
Using parts and elements from different firearms to make kind of capture like what was successful in different places, right? So it does have kind of an AK-like operating system. It's a long stroke gas piston, so the gas piston's permanently fixed to the bolt carrier, and it travels the full length of travel backwards. One of the things that's really nice is that since it's increasing that reciprocating weight, you do have more positive extraction and ejection. Especially in inclement environments. If there's a little dirt in there, if it's a little cold, things want to stick, that extra mass moving rearward is really going to help get the spent cartridge out and ejected. Unlike an AK, where the recoil spring would be back here behind the bolt carrier, it is actually up here, sort of like a SIG rifle, like the 550 series. So in a way, you could kind of think of this as like the American-made and designed SIG 553, which is the 7.62 version. But again, this was fully developed and built in the United States.
Yeah.
You do have controls that are a little bit more similar to an AR-15, and so if you're coming from the AR world, I think it's going to be a lot easier to pick up the controls of the rifle because they have tried to make that a little bit similar.
So basically what I learned is if you're on the fence between getting an AK and an AR, just get this.
There you go.
Well, one thing I liked about it is you have a very nice grip here. It's a rubberized kind of grip. Now, some people do or don't love it. It makes your hands sweat, kind of what have you. But it does have a decent, like a moderate aggressive texturing on it. But the finger grooves, I can get really up on it, and it's going to be just comfortable to hold.
Yeah, so I think that's a hoe grip. Now, it does accept any standard AK grip.
Yeah.
So if you don't like the rubberized texture or something, you can swap it out for numerous different options out there.
Also, you have a foldable stock. There's a button on this side here. You press it in, and of course, it locks into place in reverse as well. Now, not only is it foldable, it's also adjustable. So you click right down here, and you can actually get a little bit more length out of it. So if you're a taller person or you have longer arms, orangutan arms, then you can actually make that work. Because, it is a pretty long rifle already, even at a very minimal. If I pull it all the way out, it is quite long.
It's quite long. So yeah, that's the Magpul Zhukov stock, and it fits right there. Part one, the reasons why they named it what they did. It's the Zhukov M10X. So I think it's a really good stock. It's solid, but it gives you the flexibility of folding it for storage or getting in and out of vehicles or what have you.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, adjustable. So one of the things I always think is weird when people talk negatively about some of the features of assault rifles and things is that it's just to tailor it to the person, right? Like having the ability to change the length of pull on your rifle is just to tailor it to the shooter, because people come in different sizes. So obviously this is a nice feature.
I love it being right about here. I'm not going to lie, I don't want it all the way back. It's a little bit uncomfortable for me to hold it all the way out there. But again, to each their own, and you can adjust it for what's comfortable for you.
So other great features, 760 by 39, like you said, but one of the great things about this is it is a free float barrel. So unlike the handguards on a traditional AK, the barrel does free float here, which is going to give you a little bit better accuracy out of this platform. Uses the world's probably most common magazine, AK-47.
You mean standard capacity magazine?
Yep, that's right. What he said.
Standard capacity magazine.
And the thing that's great about it is, unlike an AK where you have to have like some kind of side clamp to mount a scope, or it can take a little bit of work to accessorize it. This comes with full-length Picatinny rail. You can mount whatever optics you'd like to on here.
And M-LOK for days.
M-LOK.
Yeah. Just a ton of M-LOK on here. So whatever you're going to want to mount, lasers, lights, optics, it's going to work.
So super easy to customize and accessorize. It can be your lady out on the town, I'm saying.
Well, with that being said, do you have any other notes for us? Is that all you got for this guy?
No, I think that's about it. But again, the M10X from M&M is a 100% American-made product, and so that's one of the things I think is also really cool about it.
That's fantastic. With that being said, if you have any experiences with the M10X, please do leave a review down below. We would love to see your comments. That is all I have for you today.
And it is time
to end.